All right, let's talk secure messaging. You guys are really digging into this stuff, and we love to see it.
Yeah, it's an important topic these days.
For sure. So we did a look at some of your research and found this analysis, Safeguarding Personal Privacy, catchy title. It's all about choosing Signal over those Meta-owned messaging apps like, the big ones.
Like Facebook Messenger and WhatsApp?
Exactly. And let me tell you, this analysis does not hold back when it comes to Meta's privacy track record.
Oh, they definitely don't mince words.
No, they don't. Right off the bat, they hit us with 4 major privacy concerns.
Lay it on us.
Okay, first up, data collection.
Ah, yes. The elephant in the room.
Right. It's expensive. They bring up that old WhatsApp policy update fiasco back in 2021. Remember that?
Oh, how could anyone forget? People were furious.
For good reason. Suddenly, they were basically forced to share all sorts of personal data with Facebook.
We're talking phone numbers, transaction details, if you use their payment features, even IP addresses. All up for grabs.
And, it makes you wonder, what are they doing with all that data? I mean, the obvious answer is targeted advertising, but
But it goes deeper than that. When you have that much data, you can build incredibly detailed profiles of individuals.
and those profiles could be used for all sorts of things, not all of them good.
Right. Think about the potential for manipulation when you know someone's spending habits, their interests, their social connections.
Kind of creepy when you think about it.
Definitely gives you pause.
Okay, concern number 2 from this analysis is content monitoring. Apparently, WhatsApp uses both humans and AI to look at what people are sending.
That's right. They claim it's for safety and security to prevent things like spam and abuse.
Which, okay, I get it, but it still feels like a bit of a contradiction when they're also touting end-to-end encryption, right?
Right. End-to-end encryption protects the content of your messages, so theoretically, no one, not even WhatsApp, can read what you're saying.
So what's the catch?
The catch is metadata.
Metadata.
It's basically data about your data. In this case, it's information like who you're talking to, when, for how long, that sort of thing.
Oh, I see.
And WhatsApp does collect and analyze this metadata. They even admit to sharing it with law enforcement in certain cases.
Interesting. Well, I guess that makes sense if it's for, serious criminal investigations.
Sure, there are valid reasons, but it's still something to be aware of. It means your communications aren't completely private, even with end-to-end encryption in place.
Good point. All right, concern number 3 is, well, let's just say Meta hasn't exactly been a shining star when it comes to following data protection laws.
You're talking about that massive fine they got hit with in Nigeria back in 2024?
That's the one, $220 million.
Ouch.
Yeah, Nigerian authorities basically accused Meta of exploiting user data and having, shall we say, less than adequate privacy policies.
It was a pretty clear signal that regulators are starting to crack down on these big tech companies.
It wasn't just Nigeria either. The report also mentions a 2024 Federal Trade Commission report that slammed Meta and a bunch of other social media giants for holding on to user data even after people asked to have it deleted.
Right, and they were also criticized for using all that data to target users with a very specific, sometimes intrusive ads.
So, not a great look for Meta.
Not exactly.
Which brings us to our 4th and final concern, the big one, lack of user control.
This is a core issue with a lot of these platforms. Users often have very little say in what data is collected, how it's used, or even whether it's deleted.
Exactly. You're basically handing over your digital life and hoping for the best.
And that lack of transparency can really erode trust.
No kidding. So yeah, Meta's approach to privacy, well, let's just say it leaves a lot to be desired.
To put it mildly.
But hey, every cloud has a silver lining. This report then goes on to highlight Signal as a potential alternative, and it seems like they're doing things very, very differently.
Oh yeah, Signal is all about user privacy. It's their whole thing.
Okay, let's break it down. First up, end-to-end encryption. Now, I know you mentioned this before, but for those who missed it, can you explain exactly how it works and why it's so important for privacy?
Absolutely. Basically, end-to-end encryption uses complicated math cryptography to scramble your messages in a way that only the person with the correct key can unscramble them.
Kind of like a secret code.
Exactly. And that key only exists on your device and the recipient's device. So even if someone intercepts your message in transit, it's just gibberish to them.
So no one can snoop, not even Signal themselves.
Right. Unlike from other platforms that claim to have end-to-end encryption but still hold on to those decryption keys, Signal doesn't have access to them.
Interesting. So it's truly private. I also read that Signal's code is open source, meaning anyone could take a look at it. Why is that good for privacy?
Transparency is key, right? With open source code, anyone, and I mean anyone, security researchers, privacy advocates, even just curious users can examine Signal's code to make sure it's doing what it claims to do.
So no funny business happening behind the scenes.
Exactly. There are no hidden backdoors or secret data collection mechanisms tucked away in the code. What you see is what you get.
I like that. This report also made a big deal about how little data Signal actually stores. What data do they keep, if any?
Signal is incredibly minimalist when it comes to data retention. Basically, they only stored the date of your last connection. Not even the time, just the date.
Really, that's it?
That's it. It's a stark contrast to companies like Meta that collect and store vast amounts of data, often indefinitely.
Wow. Talk about a different philosophy. Okay, next up we have to talk about disappearing messages, because that sounds super cool.
It's a popular feature. Basically, you can set a timer on a message, and after that time elapses, poof, it's gone.
Like it never existed.
Exactly. It disappears from both your device and the recipient's device, leaving no trace.
That's perfect for sharing sensitive information that you don't want hanging around forever.
Exactly. Things like passwords, financial details, those awkward messages you send after one too many.
Whoa! Hey now, moving on. So the analysis also points out that you don't even have to share your phone number with Signal. Is that true?
Yep, that's one of the things that makes Signal unique. You can create an account using just a username.
So you can stay completely anonymous.
Pretty much. It adds an extra layer of privacy because sharing your phone number can link your online identity to your real-world identity, which isn't always ideal.
Yeah, especially in this day and age. Makes sense. To top it all off, they also have regular security audits, right?
That's right. They're constantly checking for vulnerabilities and making sure everything is up to snuff.
They really are going above and beyond when it comes to user privacy. I mean, it makes you think, what are your priorities when it comes to messaging? Are you comfortable with your data being collected and potentially shared? Or do you value control and privacy above all else?
It's a personal decision. There's no right or wrong answer.
But it's a decision everyone should make consciously.
Absolutely. This deep dive has really highlighted just how different these platforms are in their approaches to privacy.
Totally. Signal is putting privacy front and center, while companies like Meta seem to be prioritizing data collection and, well, profit.
At the end of the day, the choice is yours.
But hopefully, now you have the information you need to make an informed decision about which platform aligns with your values. And that's what we're all about here. So join us next time for another deep dive into, well, whatever you're researching. See you then.